Yeah. uh-huh. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CC's pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of liters of grams, get your dose up, cut this up, post up, and get dosed up. This for them vote, they like the move and make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in no trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch it close up. Close up, close up, now close up. Grams of it, tune in, liters of it, close up. Pounds of it, pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters up, pounds, get your dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up.
Alright, y'all, what's happening? I'm talking in while they clapping. Yeah. It's another Monday night, 8 o'clock. Show is dosed up. I'm Shooter, aka Dose.
That's right.
That's Lab.
Right. That's going on,
You
brother.
know, oh man, we got a lot going on in the building today.
We trying to have a show after show, didn't we?
Hey, you know, look, man, this weekend recap. Y'all know how we do this thing.
Let's go.
Hey man, it's a couple of my close friends and my day ones. They've been getting a little something dropped off, you know what I'm saying, in their messengers so that they can hear what I've been doing.
And I love it.
Yeah. You liked it. Yeah. So I appreciate that, man, and I'm gassed up because I'm clicking, man. I'm finding formulas that it took years to make. I'm happy when I'm doing it. I'm involving other people. They're believing in themselves now as well as in me. You know, people are saying it's a delight to work with me.
Okay.
And it's getting to the point where it might be someone else's instrumental, and I send it to them, and they like, damn, bruh.
Right.
You ate on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they happy about what I did to their music. Okay. So when you can get a producer and record on his music, and he's not necessarily there in the session, and he gassed about it, you know, you got yourself something.
Yeah.
And with that being said, you know, I'm going to make sure he comes on to the next one. But
okay,
I just wanted to like gift him that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To see what he got going on and what's happening when you give me something. So with that being said, man, you know, I've been getting nothing but positive feedback. So I'm going to do it again maybe in a week or two and try to beat that.
Okay.
You'll get that too. And so you'll see, you know, where we're headed with it.
So do you have a thing where 1 week you work on the movies and the next week you work on your music, or you do it all encompassing in one fell swoop?
I'm doing it now how it comes to me.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, so I'm starting out like I wanted to do a skit a day. I did that for about a week, but you know, now I just transitioned into the music for a sec because I had to knock that song out this weekend.
Okay.
But I'll probably now, you know, now that I saw that and you heard that,
I heard
I'm like, while I'm cooking,
and I liked it.
I appreciate it. I'm like, while I'm cooking, let me go ahead and jot these next songs out. So I got about 2 to 3 more hits roasting.
Okay.
I'm gonna lay them, but in the same time now, you know, I just got a call from my homeboy like, hey, bro, we need to crank these skits back up when I get back from Milwaukee. So, you know, I'm handling that too. Like, it's whatever's for me. I want to be working every week.
So you doing it based on how you feel?
Yeah.
If you feel like hitting that lane, that creative flow, that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah. Or when it come to me, like I just be honest with you with that man, I had that song right there, that face down ass up, put it like that. I had that instrumental for about a month and a half to 2 months.
Okay.
When I first heard it, I just threw it to the side. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm doing all these other songs, so I get back to this, and I'm like, you know, this shit is kind of jamming. I still don't touch it. Then one day I play it, and the phrase comes to mind. And I was like, whoa, I know what I could do with this. Right. And next thing you know, as soon as I got the phrase, the rest of it came. And so then, but check this out. That twerk on that, see what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, GTO Brit. I got Brit on there because I invited her to the session.
Okay.
And so, like, you know, she showed up. That's a day one that's been showing up. So she's about to be on a lot more other things with me now, too.
Okay.
And so she was like, how am I supposed to do this? And I'm like, man, just have fun with it.
Right.
Get in there and do what you do, you know? And so she added that on her own. And I'm like, see,
okay.
I ain't tell you to do that. And look at what you got going on.
Okay.
So now what I got is the next song she's going to be on, I've already written it.
Okay.
So just like how the show is dosed up, for people that want to work with me, you know what I'm saying? If they new to this, or if they don't necessarily feel as comfortable or do music a lot, then I give you your doses.
Okay.
So the first dose is you got your ad libs.
Right.
The second dose, I'm gonna write you in on some hooks.
Okay.
And the third dose, your ass in that bitch rhyming.
Okay.
Now you in there.
So you dosing them up.
Crash course with it. I'm talking about you'll be a musician before you know that.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. Some people need that little extra push. They always want to do them, and then they always say, nah. So we always need somebody behind us pushing us a little bit further.
And then now all this stuff plays back into the first episodes when you were asking me like how many songs you get done. All right, that was one song.
Okay.
7 hours though.
Really?
But you see the difference of it. Not 7, but about a 5-hour block. And it's still like it. But that's because you had extra components to it, extra people to it. Then you got the engineer wanting to tweak it some, and it's still not necessarily totally mixed and mastered.
And saying Wayne said you just gave the whole formula.
Of course, hell yeah, you know that's what you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn something on those stuff. Right. I'm not here to keep anything from anyone.
What's going on in St. Wayne? He do podcasts, talk that shit, TV in the building.
Oh, okay.
You giving the whole formula.
And see, all right, so with this next session,
Southside me gonna say, oh God.
I already know in this next session. What up, Westbrook? Hey. On this next session, though, I already know how I want the song to go, how I want the chorus to go, how I want the bridge to go, the lyrics and all of that. So when I get in there, I'm going to knock it on out. Quick as fuck now.
Right.
So if the engineer want to stretch it out, cool, but I at least want to do 2. If I don't get the 2, that one going to be a banger, though.
Okay.
All right.
So you'll put all your energy into one, even if it takes 7 hours like that. Like that song you sent me over the weekend. Man, I like that song.
I was
trying to download the song. I was like, you probably don't want us to put it out just yet.
Hey, man, I'm trying to tell you. See, okay, and so what I learned this weekend is like this. I'd rather not do. I'm going to turn songs down. And the reason why I'm going to turn songs down because it's not that. Right. That what you serve right there, that's a hit. I'm going to the strip club with that.
Straight to it.
Straight to the strip club with that. Like, I'm fresh off the press. That shit smoking, right? Yeah. So now, with that, if somebody play a mediocre song for me, you can have it, John. I'm on something else now. Now, when I come back with the next song, you gonna be like, bruh, how you topping this? You see what I'm saying? Right. But I done got into the algorithm now, so I know how to. All right, so the trick, you saw how I freaked the chorus, right?
Right.
It's different a little bit all in between. That's the algorithm. Okay. So I'm gonna do that on a few other songs.
It is different always. It's not the same.
No.
Same sounding chorus.
No.
And I noticed, I said, did he mean to do that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then when you end it up, you see how it ends, right?
Right.
All right. It takes some of that off me now. Okay. Then you got sound effects and all that other stuff in it. And then you heard the little, Brick on and moaning to get that thing in it. I'm trying to tell you.
It was fly. I ain't gonna lie. When I heard the little bit off chorus, I was like, oh yeah. No, the choruses always sound the same, but he offbeat that chorus.
So with me, I'm gonna do that with the next few songs. Like you can't put me in a box. Right. I don't do this thing like everybody else do it. Yeah. Like I don't care about systematic bars and all this other stuff. Right. And we need to be bringing the bridge in right here. No, bro. However I want to break in my choruses and break in my Right. In the next song, watch this, bro. I'm gonna throw a half of a chorus in between my goddamn. My verse. Right. And it ain't gonna be nothing. It's gonna have elements of the chorus, but it ain't gonna be the original chorus. Okay. So now that I'm giving away a little bit of free tutorial on how I rock this thing.
But saying Wayne said dose of James Brown a hip hop music right about now.
Hey, listen. But while Insane is talking, he's absolutely right, bro. Right. Like when I really want to get in my songwriting mode, I go back to like Motown type songs. Okay. Bro. Like it don't be a rap song. Okay. Now I'll give y'all one secret though. A real good rapper that ain't even like Drake and all how y'all got. That's real good at transitioning and making his voice do the shit for us is Project Pat. And that's just a sleeper. You ain't even gonna know what I'm talking about if you don't know what I'm talking about with music. But 666 will bring a beat within a beat, and Project Pat will go with that beat and change his flow up with it. If he don't change his flow up with it, instead of saying something like dollar, see, he put rhythm in it. You see, and that changes it for a regular MC to just want to say cap, rap, and all this. You see what I'm saying? So
it changes the flow and the beat of the song, the whole rhythm of the song.
Giving you a little bit of gems.
Insane Wayne said, "Hell yeah, Project Pat, that MF."
Hey,
that
yeah. But oh yeah, and while I got my homie Melvin Westbrook looking, I want to give him a belated happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
You know what I'm saying? That's my dog right there. We go back and forth. You know what I'm saying about basketball, but I got a lot of respect for my dog right there, my man. So. I don't want him to think, you know what I'm saying, we'll be shooting all these messages or whatever. I got any animosity towards that man.
Right.
But now that we done brought everybody up on what the weekend was about, let me go ahead and get into this topic.
What's been on your mind?
What's been on my mind, man, is how we try. I think this Tesla robot, to be honest with you, where the future's going with robots, and I think how they're going to replace humans. But not only can they replace us, I'm thinking some slight enslavement, man, and just putting us in our place.
Most definitely.
And I don't really like where it's going. I'm like, what's wrong with life like how we have it?
Right.
You know, I don't need no extra spies. I already got my cell phone. You know, and it's a couple of words like me, man. I get real deep with things, you know what I'm saying? I don't just take things as face value in what you say to me. Because, you know, when you read into directions, recipes and things like that, or whatever you got going on, there's certain type of, it's reasoning behind what you're doing. And they're words to me. All right, so like the purpose of this Tesla bot, it says it's a bipedal. Well, first of all, we know that's like basically like walking like a human. And it says, like I say, autonomous humanoid, right? So now autonomous, when we get to the definition of that, that's like having the freedom to govern or control itself, right? So most things that are machinery, electrical, battery operated, we're used to controlling, governing them. They're called power tools, and they're dangerous. Get a power gun and let that thing operate on itself. Operate by itself. If the trigger gets stuck and you don't take the power or unplug it, and you have a whole roll of nails, it's a catastrophe that's about to happen. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, think about we're letting robots control themselves. All right. Another purpose that it says that this humanoid, because I'm gonna get on that too, robot is capable of performing unsafe, repetitive, or boring tasks. All right, and dangerous tasks. Okay. Now, so unsafe. What do we consider unsafe?
Let's just start at the top of the list.
All right.
Firefighters.
Yeah.
The military.
Yeah.
Police.
Yeah.
Let's just say the whole infrastructure of life safety.
Not only that,
EMS could be dangerous too.
Working around certain chemicals.
Chemical
working
plants.
around certain the CDC. That's a dangerous, hazardous job.
Right.
So hazards, you want robots around this?
I think a lot of times we don't. I know. Like we talked about off air, people were celebrating this particular thing and celebrating its launch and all that, but they don't think deeply about the fact that these things are meant to take our place in certain places, in certain areas. They are meant to take our places in a lot of areas where we, especially black folks. I mean, we have great jobs too. Don't get me wrong. We don't have no black jobs. As somebody might want to tell us that we do, but a lot of times they take jobs from, let's just say, the poorest of us. They'll take those menial jobs and do those menial jobs, and then what we have a system of a lot of people just starving or I mean, you have a what they call that cloud atlas type atmosphere, atlas shrug type atmosphere. You get what I'm saying? So you have an atmosphere of desperation. But you have the robots controlling everything. But I think people don't realize that these things are not meant to help us.
No.
Now they'll put it in our homes. They'll let us purchase them so they can learn from us.
It's like
we have to learn that our phone learns from us every day. They learn what the algorithm is, the thing that they learn from. They call it the algorithm, but it's just learning from us what we like, what we want to see, what we want, what we like to post, what we look like. So all those things. That's why when you go to the explore page on Instagram, it's showing you stuff that you've liked recently because those are the things you like because it's learning from you.
It's okay. Well, first of all, the threat is robots aren't gonna call out. Robots aren't going to get emotional about a job.
Right.
Robots aren't going to ask for a raise.
Right.
Robots don't need to take breaks.
No vacation.
Robots aren't going to bring their personal vendettas
to work
and be petty about certain things. You also mentioned something about like an atmosphere, and sometimes when I think of atmosphere at certain jobs, you have a union that can help control those atmospheres. But with robots, well, you ain't going to need
robots
all
don't
of
need no union.
What I'm trying to tell you. You see what I'm saying? Also, like we were just saying, okay, they consider a dangerous job. Like, if the job is considered dangerous, then how do you know what you're doing is going to be considered dangerous?
Wayne say robots don't talk back either.
Robots ain't gonna talk back.
Right.
And if the job, like I was saying, if the job is considered dangerous, then how do we know what we're doing towards the robot may be dangerous?
Right.
And how do we know how the robot's going to respond to us?
Who deems dangerous?
Thank you.
Who
I mean,
dangerous?
safety hazards are considered to be dangerous.
Right.
I will say that. Now, I know those are deemed dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
who's to say the people are programming the robots are not expanding that list of what they consider to be dangerous?
Not only that, who governs the people that are programming the robots? And why can't we have some say in what the program is?
Right.
If you're okay, to a degree. See, now this is tricky because all right. We may not have any say so in how our cars operate.
Right.
But that's because we can control them.
Right.
Meaning we're going to drive them.
Today we can.
Yeah. You see now, if we don't have any say in an autonomous robot,
right,
but it's doing something for us and living in our environment, now that's affecting us more. Like you might not control what's going inside your TV, like as far as the wiring and stuff, but you can control when you cut it on and off and all these other things. You have remote control to it, to the device. When you cut that robot on that's supposed to be self-governing now, so they say, now how do you control it?
But see, that's the thing. You are not meant to control it, and as far as knowing what is programmed in it, they throw that word proprietary information up to you, so you legally they don't have to tell you. A lot of times people don't realize that a lot of times these things that are put into our homes that we so celebrate so greatly are things that they are doing are using for future endeavors. Siri, they started with Siri on the phone, then they started with Alexa in the house. So what happens is these things start learning from us. And all this information that we are giving them willingly, we're giving this information willingly. We put these things in our homes. Why do you think they always have sales on these things? Because they don't have enough people putting them in their homes. So they'll give you 5 of them for $1, and just to get them in your home. So if they don't have everybody learning from it, that's why do you think Instagram is so valuable? Why do you think the person who owns Instagram is worth $200 billion now because he has so much information on us that they could put that information of the things we like to see, things we like to talk about, things we like to post, pictures of us inside the robot, so him and the other person can get together, and then they can get what I'm saying.
This how I'm thinking with this robot now that we talking. If this is like a $20,000 purchase, right? You purchase a vehicle, you got insurance on that thing, and you keep paying on it. So we gonna have maintenance on these robots or something?
Most definitely will.
Okay, so now you got another bill that you're gonna have to keep paying.
Right.
And not only do you have another bill that you got to keep paying, this particular bill right here, I don't even trust.
Right.
Because you got a cell phone that will activate with your voice, activate with your eyes, and all these other things, and it records your information. It sends you certain things to your Facebook and Instagram after you've done your shopping. Well, now you have a computer that's activated right behind you that can walk, talk, do everything else, and the same thing that your phone can do, it can do that, but better.
Right.
So my thing is, okay, what if it got some type of default program where law enforcement can use it to apprehend you if you're doing something negative or if you're doing something against the law? They can turn your own robot just dial into your frequency or whatever it is and program it, and now you done spent $20,000 to pretty much damn near get yourself locked up.
Imprisoned yourself.
Yep.
But see, that's the thing. Like, recently, or maybe last year or year before last, the police out here were telling us to let them log into our Ring camera so they can police crime. Like, why would I let you log into my Ring camera? You get what I'm saying? Like that will never happen. Like that will never. But these are things that they are getting from us willingly.
Yeah.
And they scare us to death with scare taxes and crime. So we'll give them everything that they need from us willingly in order to fight crime. But in the real world, they are using those things for a bigger purpose.
So exactly, like everybody thinking, "Ooh, wow! Look at these tests. Look at these Cybertrucks. It's so cool. It's so cool." But what's cool about it being bulletproof and a robot in it coming for you?
Right.
Nothing cool about that.
Right.
But right now, we taking it. You know what I'm saying? We desensitized. We getting that little fruit, and we taking it in because you got celebrities with their little trinkets and diamonds on.
But they get those fruits, so we'll buy it.
So we'll buy into it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, also, like, we've already seen where it can go with the cars driving themselves, drive right on off the road with it.
Right.
Like, I've never been comfortable with a damn roller coaster. So why am I gonna be comfortable with robots and cars moving on their own when I can operate it?
But there's enough people that are comfortable with it. They don't see, a lot of people don't think it's they don't think it's a problem until it's their problem. So they'll go along with it until it becomes a problem for them. Whereas all of us who are saying right now, like, no, there is a bigger purpose behind all this. We just don't see it yet. And they don't have to tell us. I'm gonna give you a good reason why they don't have to tell us about when they have these robots and what's in them, because we let Instagram update every day, and every time it has an update, which it seems like every day, we let it update all the time. It don't tell us what it's updating.
No.
It just says bug fixes and performance issues. That's all it says when you update Instagram. So that's what it's going to say when it updates that robot in your home. It's going to say bug fixes and performance issues, while also it's recording everything you say, videotaping your whole home, giving the police a blueprint of how your house looked, every door, everywhere, all the locks, the codes, and everything. But it's giving you performance updates.
So I'm gonna say a couple of things now, and then I'm gonna go back and explain why I just said them. But you said the bigger picture, right? So the bigger picture to me is, first of all, I'm gonna say one word: humanoid. Then I'm gonna say android. Then I'm gonna say cyborg. All right, so a humanoid is a non-human entity, basically, that has human form and characteristics to it.
Okay.
All right, now, androids, them pretty much robots with human-type, flesh-type features to them.
Right.
But you got an android, which would be considered a male, and then you got a genoid, which is considered a female.
Right.
All right, now, when you start introducing these androids and these robots and having them interact and mingle with us humans, what you're starting to do is desensitize us, and you're basically giving a bridge way for that to be the norm. Now we're going to flip the script and fast forward a little bit. This ain't as much down the rabbit hole as we may think. But if you remember them DC characters, that cyborg Cyclops character.
Right.
All right, now, do we have pacemakers to this day? Yes, we do.
Right.
All right, do we have electricity that flows through us?
Right.
Yes, we do. Do people now have titanium and steel and metal rods within their bodies?
Right.
Yes, they do. Have we not seen this with the Terminator and the $6 Million Man before? Yes, we have. Okay, so
especially with the $6 million.
If you think that these movies are just sci-fi and for play,
right,
I'm trying to tell you, you got something else coming. This
Slick
ain't to be played with.
Me and Slick always say these movies have some realization,
some
to
type
them.
of substance to it.
Right.
I mean, okay, if we go back to the Spider-Man Far Away From Home,
right,
and they put them drones in the air, and they had the drones doing them holograms.
Right.
All right. Well, now how did they put holograms to us? Ooh, we gonna show Tupac on stage with a hologram. Right. Ooh, we gonna show 50 Cent take his clothes off with a hologram. Ooh, Drake got a hologram. Right.
Right.
You desensitize. It's in the movies and all of that. Now, what's going to happen is when they start linking your brain up with your damn phone and they start throwing holograms and AI everywhere, you ain't even going to know what's real. But we talked about this before. And let me break down the AI, because the AI and the computers go hand in hand. So now, what's going to happen when you have, whoa, you told me this, Lab.
Right.
The AI with the rap. when they be having the fake Tupac verses, right? But what you doing is, damn, now we don't even need musicians.
Most definitely.
Okay, now you got AI that can make a baby ride a motorcycle. That's entertainment. What you gonna do? Fuse us out? We don't need actors no more?
Most
you just
definitely.
program something into the entertainment. But what are we doing? We're putting our faces in our phone. So now it's gonna take my face and make a movie out of my face. It don't even need me.
Right. Because a lot of people
now how we gonna make money?
A lot of people don't realize, and I don't think people even read that far down the fine print. I did. When you put your face to the phone, you're giving Apple, whoever it may be, the permission to keep that image stored in data. So, and then the image becomes theirs. See, people don't realize that the image becomes theirs. I mean, it's no way to really stop it because we've all put our image somewhere. But when we put our image on the phone, when we put our image on Instagram, social media, things of that nature, YouTube, that image becomes their property. So what happens is they get the property, they sell it to somebody, that person then all of a sudden, 10, 15 years, maybe after my summers are up, you're going to see an Android cyborg Lee walking around with my face because I've given them permission to use my face and image on this robot. And there will be nothing anyone can do about it. We celebrate things as if they don't affect us, but everything that is done affects us, period. And we need to realize that when you have a certain person getting with another person who's running for office and that person decides that they're going to get together, what's the best way to test something that needs to go in your brain when you don't have volunteers is you can get the prison population to say, hey, you're in prison, but if you let this person put this link in your head, we'll erase all your prison time because we're going to be able to control what you do and say anyway. So you can just go out into public and live life and everything with this link in your head and do your thing. So that's how you start testing these things on humans. When you need human people to test certain things on, the best way to do it is to link up with the government, have the government say certain things, do certain things, and then eventually the prison population will be your test dummies. I don't think people realize how easy this is.
I think we're being tested in real life like we're an experiment as well.
Most
like
definitely.
You don't always need to have a controlled environment and variables and petri dishes to have a fucking experiment.
Right.
Half these experiments right now, I can give you an example, are challenges. That's an experiment to see if somebody can be stupid enough to do some of these challenges or if people want to even participate in them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On a public forum. But a lot of the things that I think about, like before they start really trying to introduce, because this is the introduction. But then you have another thing, another word that begins with the I will be implementation at some point. It might be mandate at some degree at some point.
Most definitely.
It's like, okay, what happens with your pets? They might not like the robots. What if your kids don't like the robots? You see what I'm saying? And stuff like that. What if it gets stolen? You know what I'm saying? At some point where they try to make these things fly. What happens if dust particles get all in it? How do you maintain it? What happens if you block the sight lens and things like that? I want to know these type of things just in case I need to prepare myself and protect myself actually from the damn robot.
Right.
I need to know some weaknesses and things like that. I need to know temperature controls, variables for this thing. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, like I want to know what happened if I try to put the thing in an oven. Or if I try to throw some liquid nitrogen on it, it won't let me do it. You see?
No, not only that, but it won't. It will be heat resistant. You know why? Because they have already tested the stuff.
Clearly,
when you go up to space. The test and the company we're talking about tested every time they send what's that company called, Starlink or whatever it is. They send those rockets up to space. They testing the carbon fiber part of the other rocket to be heat resistant. And why not put that outer shell on a robot's outer shell?
Now, this is what I want my viewers to check out or to look at, because it's starting to be to the point where you can really literally start piecing this thing together and see how it goes. All right, so we got these rollouts of all these robots. And Lab, you were telling me like off air, well, these robots gonna be battery charged, pretty much. And what are they going to be using? Maybe lithium or something? Or whatever kind of natural resources. Now, what are we starting to have right about now? Natural disasters in areas where natural resources are. And we're starting to have a rollout See, this the thing. You can't just have no 10,000 robots. See, this ain't gonna be like no limited edition
No,
car
no,
or something.
no,
They're
no.
gonna have millions of these things.
If that person has shown you 2,
Mm-hmm.
better believe there's 200,000 of them.
Not
somewhere.
only that, but like I was saying, if you ever seen like the Chinese and the Japanese army when they do their formation and they all together making their movements, they look impressive as hell, kind of damn near intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that, but times 8 in they robots that you can't control. And you ain't got none for them anyway, man. These robots, I'm quite sure they're going to arm the ones that can go to war with missiles and everything else. You done for.
Yeah,
Grenades and crazy ass shit, being able to shoot fire at you. And then now we going to get into the nanotechnology.
Right.
Where they might just shoot something in the air and you breathe it and your lungs just explode. So, I mean, we
can go real deep down this rabbit hole to a whole
But not only is it a rabbit hole, but check it
hole.
out. Some of this stuff ain't no rabbit hole.
No,
man.
I don't think any of this stuff that we're talking about currently
it could be proven.
It's far fetched.
Yeah,
and
now,
I don't think it's a rabbit hole, because I'm going to tell you something that I thought about when we started talking about this. We say we've been tested. We've been doing this stuff since Atari 2600.
ColecoVision.
They've been testing us since Atari 2600.
Before
when they
that,
first got the first computer, what was that, compact computer? They said, you know what? This is the way right here.
So we're being computer programmed. That's all it is. We're being programmed to damn near be the computer. We got to be able to operate one, I guess, before we can be turned into one.
You think about how kids nowadays that's been born in the last 10, 20 years that don't know nothing but this. They don't remember a dial phone or a rotary phone, or they don't remember putting quarters in the phone or a pager. They don't remember any of that stuff. That's something that they weren't born into.
So you speak of kids, right? So that Wall-E movie. Oh shit! Check this out. Talk about being programmed in a subliminal. The Jetsons from way back in the day. What did they have?
A robot in their house. Rosie.
How long was Rosie? How old is Rosie?
Well, back then.
When did that cartoon come out, Hanna-Barbera? That's 60s, 70s maybe?
Yeah. But you
probably
know
before that.
You know when that robot was? You know when that show was set? I think it was set in the early 60s. But you know when that robot was set? What year that cartoon was set in?
What?
1984. So the Jetsons was supposed to be 1984.
84, and they got robots and flying vehicles, man. Come on, man. You see what I'm saying? So,
but but I'm gonna give you something deeper that a lot of people didn't think about, but I found this out recently. The Jetsons were the wealthy people.
Yeah.
The Flintstones were the poor folks.
Yeah, prehistoric damn.
Right.
Man.
Well, no, but they were poor. They were poor within the same.
And the same people made them.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, the same Hanna-Barbera made both of them.
So that's what we're going to be. We're going to be, because we can't afford the robots and the flying cars.
Oh, so we're gonna be
pedaling our cars with our feet because we're not going to have any gas. We're not going to be able to afford batteries.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. But I mean, to me, some things are better, and some things are.
And then we're gonna be doing menial jobs like Fred worked at the rock quarry, busting rocks. Like,
well,
I mean, you got to think about these things.
My thing is, think about everybody talk about living off the grid like we talked about last episode, and everybody talk about what their ancestors did. So imagine if you have time to go dig up dirt and build your own garden.
Right.
Hey man, let the robot do that. And I'll be able to feed myself.
Right.
I'll learn how to fish while the robot go do the job then. See, I'ma still take that time and do some survival shit.
Yeah, but see, we can't let the robot do these things
we
for us, because we're going to let the robot learn from us. And then what's going to happen is the robot's going to say, you want to eat today, right?
But check this out.
You need to do such and such.
But check this out. The crazy thing is we precede the robot.
Match Champ says,
man is making the damn robot. Well, man made the robots for the robots to make themselves.
Match Champ says, I hope you guys realize I won't be able to sleep tonight. Now you scared the shit out of me.
My thing is, the only way that you solve this is you have to go at the people that make the robot, because you're not going to be able to go at the robot. So there is no winning unless you go at the source. Well, and what happens when there's so many robots to protect the source?
What did you say? What did you say earlier?
Who says the person that's making these particular robots won't get these robots or program these robots to protect them?
Right.
So what do you do when you don't like the person that's damn near got anarchy going on and enslaving you with their product.
Right.
And that product is programmed to protect them.
Why wouldn't a person who programs these robots and puts them in our homes not give it a program to protect it from us?
It's fail safe.
Protect them from us. It's
so
a
what
fail
happened?
safe system.
What happened when somebody come in our house and get it? Okay, when you have a dog and somebody come in your house and threaten you, we know what that dog gonna do.
Right.
What the robot gonna do?
Right. But if somebody comes in your house and that person is
but
a
what
person
if it's
of
a
authority,
relative? And they, you know how you get in an argument with your relative? Or what if it's a couple? And they just like, and see, you know, oh shit, keep it on. I get my robot on you.
Right.
You're like, wait a minute now, damn now, you know. Oh well, okay, now I got to go buy a robot and get my robot to do something to your robot.
But see, that there. See, we talked about the problem, the solution to that, because we're not going to be able to program these robots totally. They're going to be programmed and updated from somewhere else. We're going to plug it in and it's going to be updated from somewhere else. And what we don't realize, even though it's in our homes, we're not going to have control over it. So let's say me and you're my cousin, you're my brother, you come over, we having a good time, we playing spades, and we get into a little disagreement. What's to say that the robot that's in my house for me, now, I'm thinking it's going to protect me, but I'm the aggressor of the situation. And it says, oh, that's unlawful, and it does something to me. Because it's deeming something to be dangerous and unlawful, but I am not the one who's programming it to deem that. Hey. Someone else is programming that, and it's going to be a blanket situation where this is dangerous, this is unlawful. I don't care who's doing it. You get what I'm saying? Like, we got to think about those things.
Man, I'd be willing to bet you $5,000 it's a racist robot out there somewhere.
Most definitely. They're teaching it everything.
But man, look, if a robot is racist, bro, we ain't got no wins.
It's teaching it everything. It's teaching it everything. We're not going to be a monolith. We are not a pillar.
No, this is not going to be good for us.
We are. This is not a good thing. I don't care what people say. The rappers and entertainers can go buy their $200,000 and $100,000 Cybertrucks all they want to. It's just learning how to drive. It's just learning how to drive. Everything that we do nowadays when it comes to electronics and computers and all that stuff, we're teaching it. We're teaching it how to enslave us. I'm just going to be 100% honest. We're teaching it how to enslave us. All these things are nefarious in itself. And why do you think all these guys are building underground bunkers?
So, the people with all the money.
Instagram has
or they purchase an island,
a $10,000 bunker under his house,
and islands. So they got planes, trains, and automobiles, and we don't.
Right.
But my thing is, it's diabolical as that word they like to use to be trying to do all of this. Like, we see this, we know it's coming, we talk about it, and what's gonna be done about it? You see what I'm saying?
Nothing. Nothing. Why would a government do anything about something that controls its population?
Well, they did say population control.
Right. Why would that? And we think population control is getting rid of people.
Yeah,
no, you can corral everybody into a population controlling thing and be perfectly, perfectly alive.
Yeah.
That has nothing. Population control has nothing to do necessarily with unaliving folks.
It's kind of like mind control.
It is more of the fact that we're going to corral you people into obeying exactly what we tell you to do. Nobody thinks of that stuff. Nobody thinks of these things. Like Slick said, smart homes. They are programmed to learn. If everybody had a smart house and the police came to your house and you was in your house and you said, no, you can't come in, and the door starts unlocking itself because it's a smart home and the robot is saying, oh, that's the police. We got to let them in with or without a warrant. See, that's what you guys don't understand.
So, what was the name of that movie? I think it was Transcendence. It's some type of movie where a dude unalives and they start going into the computer system and all this other stuff.
Oh, you're talking about? I get what. Transcendence. Where he became a part of the program itself.
But think about this: we doing that while we are alive, because we pour all our life into our cell phones. Man, our cell phones now, I guarantee you, they got doctor's appointments, visits, and probably information.
They got our credit
you
cards
done saved things in your notes. You done saved important elements on your calendar. You got people's pictures saved. You got music saved on your phone.
Right.
That is you.
Right.
You got your image saved on your phone. that is you. You lose your phone, who are you?
Right.
I lose my phone, I'm me.
Right.
I'm gonna lose some product and content that I might need. Then I just go back into the cloud and try to get it. But it's still in me because I have paper that I write down on too. Like I do things, you see what I'm saying, that don't always have to deal with being digital.
I save nothing to the cloud. Everything that I have is saved physically on my personal.
That's how them gangsters did it.
I don't save anything to the cloud. You know why? Because the cloud can be hacked.
Yeah.
The cloud can be. How do we know?
Really, it's temporary sometimes
How
too.
do we know Google's not looking through all our clouds right now, going, man? You see what he got up here in the cloud? You see what he got? Look, he's been emailed to such and such. Yeah. I save nothing to the cloud. If I can physically have it, physically save somewhere, that's what I'm going to do. I'm never going to save anything to the cloud. I have a list. I have a list on my phone that I have never posted of all the hacks that has happened in the last month.
Oh,
all the personal information of everybody on this planet has been hacked. We are not without loss. It's just not we are everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Man, if you got enough money, man, they probably got an embryo of you somewhere, man, on cryogenics, ready to deep thaw your ass in the next 80-some years or better. But you know, that's neither here nor.
I'm finna really scare you.
You can't scare me.
You're talking about embryos.
Yeah.
Remember when they were going around for a long time, you go to these little festivals and stuff, and you had the guy walking around saying, well, we can test your ancestry. All you got to do is give us the blood. They already got your embryo.
Yeah.
They already got it regardless. They have taken our blood, and I haven't never given it to them, but we do go to the doctor.
Yeah, they can go to the hospital and the labs and go to it.
When you go into the hospital, is they draw blood.
Yeah,
so they draw blood. So where are they storing all this blood that they're drawing on
us? Blood banks.
There you go.
And they ask you and sometimes encourage you to give blood in blood drives.
Right. And where are they storing that?
And it's all in the computer, man. They know what your blood type is, your genetics and all of that. Like all that's linked to your social security number too.
And what's to say that they can't take those genetics?
The only thing that says that nothing says that but HIPAA. And HIPAA is man-made and just some words. Man, and they can do that without you even knowing anyway. They do. That's what I'm saying. HIPAA don't keep nobody in check.
Henriette Lacks didn't give them permission to test her blood and stuff, but they did it anyway. That's how we got antibiotics and all that stuff. So, I mean, who's to say we give them permission when we sign on the dotted line to pay the bill? Just come on now. Come on now. I don't know why people believe that companies, corporations, hospitals, doctors, politicians care anything about us and believe that they are going to do anything for us good, regardless, Republican, Democrat, the same side of the same snake. It's just depending on what side you want to choose. That's all it is. We gotta wake up as human beings. Forget Americans and all that. Human beings, and realize that we are being taken advantage of every day.
So when they do introduce these, well, ain't no when they do, the robots are already here pretty much. So, the question is, or the thing is, when we just start seeing them interacting with us damn near on the norm, you know what's around the corner from that, right?
Right. Go ahead.
I mean, it looked to me like they're revealing everything.
A little bit.
So where there's robots, if you can have an android and you can have a cyborg, which is basically considered to be science fiction. What else do we be seeing in science fiction?
Give it to me. I see so much of science fiction.
Shit me, man. Okay, it's gonna basically go from Terminator to Star Wars.
Oh, most definitely.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what the Space Force is about. Match chance.
Hey, but then they say we ain't been to the moon, which we probably haven't, but you still got a Space Force that we do know.
You're right.
And we do know we do have some satellites.
Right.
And we do know we have transmissions and shit going on. And we do know there is a space. And we do know you can see stars. And we do know you have shit on Earth that you can see outside in space with. So, with all that being said, we ain't the only ones here.
The stars in space are a simulation.
Oh,
we are actually in
we in a snow globe.
We're actually in a snow globe.
We're in a snow globe. Oh, we're in a snow globe where you had and look, check this out, where you had New York built what before, like right around the 1800s or something like that,
we're in a snow
with
globe.
no electricity, no shit like that, no power tools, and you erected a big ass
And when you have earthquakes in California, it's just somebody shaking the snow globe.
Oh yeah, that's what that is.
Match Champ says I could use a new Stefford wife until she decides
that's another
what
movie
you're
though.
doing is nefarious and she doesn't like how you're treating her and calls the police on you or arrest you herself because she's 152 times stronger than you. Yeah, Stefford wives are good until that.
Make grits 8,000 degrees Celsius.
Right, and pour them in your lap.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Them grits be hotter than them Al Green grits. But man, I mean, some things I be for,
right,
and some things I'm not. Like, I'm not necessarily. I don't see a need for this.
Right.
Because maybe in things like repairing planes and trains and things like that.
Right.
You know, possibly some surgery. Because you know, where you need certain things really precise and laser. Like making shit. But we don't need them running around in customer service. We don't need them in damn near a lot of the jobs we got today. Because we doing them. Maybe industrial. But that's going to take a lot of work from people.
Do you think they care about the work part?
Hell no, they don't. Because they're going to use them in agriculture. They're going to use them in construction. They're going to use them in industrial.
Right.
They're going to use them wherever they can use them. Oh, and quiet as kept. I got off the phone with my partner today, and he was like, that shit already happened where he at. He's saying he's been hired to work on. Now, this is where we win a little bit. Where you work on the wiring for the robots.
Most definitely.
Until, I guess, the robots are able to wire themselves up. So he been doing wiring, but he's saying while he's wiring, his robots are already doing
other stuff.
Doing like forklift type work.
Mm-hmm.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Through the shift. Well, we need to take a Twizzler break and go to the goddamn bathroom and go to the snack machine. That robot gonna be like
working the whole 24/7. Robot don't have to stop. We said that in the first beginning of the show. Don't have to stop. Don't have to take a break. Don't need maternity leave. Don't need vacation. Don't need PTO. Don't need none of that. And you don't have to pay it once you install it.
And they're using those as selling points. But you don't have to pay it once you install it. But who do you pay to keep it going? Who do you pay if it break down?
Oh, you're going to pay the robot, that's the person who controls the robots to come and fix it because they're going to send a robot to fix the robot.
Oh, man.
Because only a robot knows how to fix a robot. I mean, come on, let's be 100% honest here. They're not going to employ us or pay us.
Yeah, because they're going to know we'll be able to manipulate that damn robot.
They're not going to pay us to manipulate
their know what goes
product.
in it.
They're going to have a robot know how to fix the robot. So when you say my robot is one leg is stuck in the air, I need someone to come fix it. They're going to send another robot to fix it.
So what if you a brilliant computer guy and you know how to hack somebody's robot?
That's why they're making things so difficult now. Think about cars. They say cars nowadays are so difficult to maintain that maintenance guys can't fix on them. You have to take them back to the car dealership and have them repair them because they can't just go to you just can't go to a brake shop or anything to get these cars fixed now. And if you do, it's going to cost you $5,000.
That's because everything going to a computer or a computer chip, and you got to have either the program to make that program align,
right?
Or what they're gonna say is they can't fix the part. You need the whole thing that the part go with.
Mm-hmm.
You see, I mean, I get it, bro. Like, that's the game you got to play right there. That's the matrix. You gonna be in that if you gonna drive.
Right.
Now, but see, you don't have to be in this particular. We in the cell phone matrix right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna step it from the cell phone to the robot matrix too? So now we got. Wait a minute. You got the internet bill. We're going to be playing on the PlayStation. We got a cell phone. That's going to cost. Well, all the apps that you got to pay for. And then you got a damn robot. And guess what they going to do? They're going to upgrade that motherfucker. You're going to have to pay. And you're going to have to get a new one. Yep. They're going to do it like the PlayStation.
No, they're going to do it like the iPhone.
Damn. They're going to be like, bro, you got that old ratchet ghetto-ass robot.
Right.
Yeah, the hit robot broke, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got that broke man robot. We got the bougie robot. I got the Gucci robot, bro.
It's green.
You got the Family Dollar robot. Some shit.
While we talking about playing PlayStation, the robot's gonna play PlayStation with you while it beams the PlayStation to a big wall screen that you have because it comes out of the robot. It's played.
Oh yeah, the robot is not a projection screen.
Right.
I don't want that. No, give me old school, let me plug these things up, you know. And see, that's another thing. You take knowledge away from yourself. Remember, you used to have to construct things and fix things and put a female adapter to this and attach this to that to get it to work. I gotta hook this MDI up to this and things like that. Well, when you get the robots to take all that away, now you're not gonna know how to do nothing. You're just gonna be sitting there like how your great grandma used to do and not know how to fucking operate a microwave.
Match Champ says every day I'm afraid my ex will hack my pacemaker if she catches me with a new bitch. But you got to realize that I know you're joking, and I laughed at when I saw it. Forget about the ex hacking your pacemaker. Think about the police hacking your pacemaker.
I mean, but see, now here you go. How do we start creating? Where do the laws go when you have a robot?
There is no laws. It's autonomous.
Damn, you just said that, and I jacked. But no. With the humans interacting with them,
there is no laws. It is
with us though.
No,
the laws are going to start changing at some point. What if we hack something to get the robot to do something on our behalf? See, you're gonna have to start having laws implemented where he control malfunction of a robot or something. I don't know. You see what I'm saying?
They're going to eventually, and they're testing this every day. I think that they're going to eventually make things hack proof. That's why they have people testing by hacking stuff. That's why you have people testing. Why do you think all of our information is always, our data is always breached every other day? Because they're testing the system to see how they can make it hack proof. So when they introduce robots, we won't be able to hack it.
All right, and then I'm going to go back to Johnny Mnemonic, and then I'm going to go back to Judge Dredd and all that other stuff. And you see how, and even the Terminator, and futuristic stuff, people, you still had what you call like that type of resistance. That some kind of way knew how to, dial into something. Because guess what? It's somebody that runs this company, and they had to think of all of this. This a human. A robot didn't just wake up and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna create more robots. I'm gonna do this and do this." A person. So when you get a person, you have duality in life, like what we discussed. So you can have a person that can think on that level diabolically, and you can have a person that thinks on this level angelically. You see what I'm saying? And they know just as much as that diabolical person. Just like you can have someone that is negative but know how to do surgery, and you can have someone positive that know how to do surgery. And you can get the same outcome or a different outcome, or it can offset each other. Meaning, like, let's say that surgeon decide, I want to slice you open. Oh, well, this surgeon just seals you back up. So when this idiot opens up this gate with these robots and all these frequencies and programs, you may have a person that can be like, block it, offset it.
But how would they
shut it down?
I guess they would have to purchase one in order to do this, because how would they be able to know how to do things to it if the information is proprietary? So they would have to get one, take it apart, and figure out how it's done.
Same thing, reverse engineering. How the hell do these people right here know how to make stealth bombers and things like that? Maybe something fell to the ground and they got it and went in and broke it apart. The same thing we used to do as kids. If you had a Walkman or something and it maybe broke, or you know how you sometimes you took your tape apart and rewound that thing and then put the screws back in it and fixed it. That's a baby reverse engineering. Shit. So
they take the human aspect out of things, because we are humans. We do human things. We think like humans. We have compassion, emotion. Some of us have compassion and emotion where we don't really want to hurt other people, and we think about it before we do it. Well, if you put a robot in that place, especially let's think about drones. Drones are flown by, well, they used to be, are flown by humans. But if you put a robot in this place and you tell it to bomb an area, and they see a bunch of humans running around, the robot won't have any hesitation.
No protocols to
no human emotion to say, well, what if that's my mom? What if this was my dad? I mean, look at that baby down there. They won't have any emotions to care about that part. They're going to do what they're told.
Well, let's say there's a human, like you just saying, on a mission to do something to me, and I might can say something that can trigger them to evoke an emotion or an experience or some type of compassion, something, because every human should have an emotion.
Right, every human does.
Exactly.
But
these robots don't.
Right, if you're building a robot, you can take that part out.
Yep. And now you can't chess match it. You can't poker face it. You can't do nothing. And then also some of these things can be seeking heat. and infrared. You see what I'm saying? So like what we were talking about last time, living off the grid, they can see your body, man. You can try to cut the lights out. That ain't gonna work.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You can go hide behind brick or something. That ain't gonna work.
Right.
As long as they got thermal, as long as your heart beating, they can detect you. And then the robot may be able to do a projectile at you, do something to you that you know, set out gas. You know, it doesn't even necessarily have to get up on you.
Right.
And then, okay, if the same people that made this robot make cars, how fast can that bitch run?
Right.
You think you might outrun a robot?
Nah.
Oh yeah.
But think about this. We talked about batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And remember we were talking off air, you were saying, well, what if the battery run down? They're already testing battery life with the cars. They're trying to get the cars to last longer and go further. So they're testing those to put them in the robots. Why wouldn't a person who runs this and does these things, who controls all this, test things, certain things, and put them in the nefarious stuff? Why wouldn't
they do? You know, they be testing impact and everything. They throw that thing off a building and see what happened. Put it in behind the car and wreck it on purpose to see what happened. Blow it up to see what happened. Submerge it in water to see what happens. All of these things. Clearly, I'm quite sure they're doing that. They're not going to just sit up here because they, first of all, ain't going to want to be sued or be liable for a lot of stuff anyway. But, like I'm saying, everything on Earth is fallible. We've already seen things happen with these cars. We've seen things happen with airplanes. We've seen things happen with planes. We've seen cell phones explode. What happened if a robot explodes? How much damage would that do? Because if we know a cell phone battery can do something,
it can do some damage and set your house on fire. You know that, right?
Clearly, it might blow that bitch up.
Right.
What happens if it gets glitched?
Right.
Or triggered?
Oh, Slick says laparoscopy from ancient Greece. Flank is an operation performed in the abdominal or pelvis using small incisions, and she said robots do that surgery already.
Oh yeah, they have they do robots that defuse bombs and things like that.
Yeah.
Like you say, drones to me are like an extension of damn near robotic technology.
Right.
You see, in nanotechnology and all that. That's damn me like, man, it getting so deep.
When drones get bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually you got a robot sitting somewhere behind a computer screen flying us to California, New York, wherever we want to go.
See, now, would you want a robot pilot?
No.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't want one because what?
That's probability and not instinct. That's program. That's statistics. Those are numbers. That's statistical data. Flying a plane to me with a program rather than a human that has instinct. You see what I'm saying?
Emotions to want to save themselves. So let's say we're going towards a mountain. The robot gonna say, "Well, there's no way I can save this world." Human gonna be like, "Man,
oh yeah."
The robot gonna say,
"There's no way I can save this. Let me eject."
Right? They gonna say, "Let me." They're gonna say, "Well, let me do the probability of us being saved." There's no probability of being saved if I try to pull up. So I'm just gonna let the
by the time he get through calculating, oh boy,
it's too late. It's too late.
Yep.
Whereas a human gonna be like, "Oh, I'm going towards this mountain. Let me turn left."
Terminate.
Let me pull this stick back to try to go higher. They're gonna do anything they can.
Yeah, they're gonna do everything. Yeah. The robot terminate.
Right. The robot's gonna say,
power down.
Right. The robot's gonna say, "Well, there's no probability of us making it through this."
Yeah, been done told you your probability and everything. Probably gassed you before. At least I can gas you guys before we crash.
Match Champ says we can't say them people on here because they cut us off. Match Champ says somebody sent in a drone that identified the head of somebody else, and they delivered a precision-guided bomb and unalived them.
Clearly. I mean,
right.
Okay, so also part of the robot that they say, like it says navigation, perception, interaction with the physical world.
Right.
Navigating, man. So they'll send one out and then they navigate, put the coordinates in. Just like Marines and things do. You put coordinates in, they can find you on a place of Earth. You put a coordinate on a drone, put a coordinate on a robot. Imagine a robot traveling from another country to come get your ass.
Most definitely.
It ain't gonna sleep or nothing. It's just, it finds that path and it don't need no scent, no nothing. It probably got your phone.
It's the phone's telling it where you at.
Yeah, or whenever you swipe a card, it's on to your ass.
Oh well, we swipe a card now
Or
that gives our location.
Whenever you walk past a camera that's closed circuit, that's just out there in your face on it, it's like enemy of the state.
Mm-hmm.
Like these things that they really be showing us, I mean, trying to tell you, it's
not true.
Yeah, I've talked to military people and specialists, people that's been in Marine Semper Fi, and they'll tell me like, bruh, like how they have trauma from certain things. I mean, they're not obviously gonna just give me the directives that they had,
right?
And be like, oh, sergeant staff so and so told me to do this and I did that. But they will be like, hey, bruh, I thought that was a mosquito and that was some shrapnel coming right by me, and I was in unalive zone.
How do you get rid of that trauma? You put robots in their places.
Or how do you get rid of that trauma? Put a chip and it takes some of the memory.
Oh, it's all going to, you said cyborgs.
Yeah. I mean,
it won't happen in my lifetime because my summers are limited, but eventually that will happen.
Hey, while you tripping, we don't even know what they got going on. Okay, so we cloning, right? Mm-hmm. Can't clones be reasons to use some cyber? You use the clones and try to make cyborgs.
Test.
You see what I'm saying? Well, like we said, I do know we got metal and titanium in us now. I do know we got pacemakers in us now. But look at the way that they're making these new prosthetics and things like that, where you can have Olympians, with prosthetics.
Right.
So if that moves like now what you do see, you have to take the prosthetic and add electricity to it or add wiring to it. Now you start getting into the biomechanisms of it. You start, and then if you attach it to the man, but see now how do you get that to work? You can start using
the Neuralink.
Thank you. You
Bluetooth it. You Bluetooth it.
Okay, so when that person decides, hey man, I want a new arm, but I want it to look and do things almost like what a Terminator arm can do,
right?
A Predator arm can do, right? They're going to be willing to go ahead and put something attached to their brain, so they can be like, wow, I'm thinking, and my arm is doing all of this and that, as opposed to me not being able to have too much. Or you know what the carbon that you're talking about looks like now. When you see those Olympic runners and things, it looks like almost a little sled at the bottom of it. Oh, they're going to fix all that where it's going to be feet.
Oh, they've already done that.
And you're going to be able to think, though, and it's going
to... And it's going to run for you.
Yeah. It's not going to look like what it looks like.
That prosthetic is going to be stronger than any
It's going to be like an engine, like a piston and all this other stuff.
I think they're going to get away from that. I think they're not going to.
It's going to be strictly computerized.
Yeah, they're not going to have a piston. They're not going to have anything to where that you can break it, because you can break a piston.
You're right.
You get what I'm saying? You could do something to a piston and it not be operational. So why not get away from that?
So here's the thing. Where's computer programming going in the future then? Because you're going to have basically we're going to be putting computers inside of us.
Slick says, so what are we to do? We have to conform to what's going on to live, even if we only use small amounts. What choice do we have? You're right. We don't have. I think it's, to me personally, you tell me what you think, though. I think it's personally too late. We have allowed all this stuff within our presence, within our homes, within our hands, our phones, our cars, GPSs. We have allowed all this stuff as a means of convenience, entertainment. It's always presented to you in the ways that can help you do things better or help you feel better. So we have allowed all this stuff. We have done all this stuff. And I personally think that it's too late. I mean, everybody tries to not be on Instagram and social media. It's too late for that. If you've been on there once, you've been on there a million times. It's too late for that. Everybody's, you can't do that. I've said for years that internet is the feds. Everything that we do on the internet is policed by the feds. They watch everything that we do. So I think it's too late. It's just a matter of how soon before all this other stuff starts happening.
So I'm looking at it like there's no way to stop it, first of all, because we're supposed to govern ourselves as humans.
Right.
And we don't do that. This right here, man, is just the work of some conglomerates that know what they're doing, and they're just going to usher us into either we're so sleep and so non-conscious that the only thing I can think of, bruh, the reason that why they keep doing this is either life on Earth used to be scientific, like science fiction, and they're trying to go back, like meaning they reset the button and broke it down all, and because see, if you start looking at the timelines of certain things, you would ask yourself, how was that built? And how was that built within a month this time? Like I was looking at a post, and it just showed the city of New York, basically around the Hindenburg.
Okay, Hindenburg time.
In the 1930s or whatever, right? And you saw New York like what it was. And so now, how does New York look like this if it's 1930s and you just go back a few more years and it was in the 1800s?
Right.
Right? Right? So how do you go from 1800 damn near horse and carriage or whatever with nothing damn near, and you got a whole damn metropolis damn near built?
Right, 30 years later.
Of iron and all of this other stuff.
Right.
30 years later now. Just that quick, right?
I think the time frame is not necessarily the problem. I think the time frame is when they think that we are acceptable and been desensitized enough to introduce it. You get what I'm saying? So the timeline that they may say, okay, we got this thing here now. It's 2024. We really can't introduce like bringing out the robots. Yeah, we really can't introduce our full capability until 2035 because they're not going to be able to accept it until then. We gotta make it normal.
And that's what they're doing.
You know what I'm saying? We got to make it normalized for them first. We can't let them be scared of it. We got to show them doing great things, rescuing people, giving kids ice cream cones.
So check this out then, right? With all that being said, I'm trying not to go the Star Wars route. I'm saying this really because we already have flying machines,
right?
And they're not doing anything but making things more advanced. Like I can look at these new concept cars they got coming down the road,
right?
Where you speak and shit in the dashboard starts going all up, man. You know what I'm saying? You look at your car and that shit start up, bro. This ain't normal, man.
You know. But a lot of that stuff has already been. I looked at a car recently on YouTube. There was a car from 1983. I forget what it was, but it already had display in the windshield.
Yeah,
your speed limit. Your RPMs, the radio controls were already in the windshield like they have it now. They already had it. They didn't introduce it to us fully.
Yeah,
they kind of brought it on and then took it back off because they was like, oh, they're not ready for this yet. But all that stuff, see, we the stuff that we're introducing, they're introducing to us now, has already been done 20 years ago. They're just introducing it to us now.
So the question is then, how many years ahead of us are they actually?
20 to 30.
I'm giving them 100.
You think 100?
Because what they do be affecting us for a minimum of 50 years. So I'm thinking, I think they think, okay, I think they think a generation or two ahead, which is 80.
I'm giving 50
But we'll
years.
say, well, a generation.
Okay.
So now if we're gonna go that, then I'm going life expectancy.
I'm saying 50 because I get what you're saying, life expectancy, and I agree with you on that. I'm saying 50 because at a certain point your cognitive reactions become a little bit less. So you have to, in order to keep it going, you have to introduce these things and train these things to the next generation.
Yeah.
And generally we won't be able to comprehend those things unless we're geniuses until 20, 21 years old. So you got 30 years between the two. You get what I'm saying? So 50 years ahead will be a manageable amount of time to introduce those things and keep them going. So there may be 50 years ahead of us, but they're bringing us in 20 years. So now the people now, the kids now can program these things. You got kids now who can show you things, who can do things, whereas those kids 50 years from now will be older. So you got to have a generation. I get what you're saying, generation, but you got to have enough space in between training, learning, and doing to where it could be profitable for one, and it could be conducive to what you're trying to do. So, let me get to a couple of comments.
Okay.
Slick says AI makes commercials we type up, but AI gives it a voice and face. My name show says write programs now. AI can write code for apps and programs.
Wow.
My name show says if they publicly shown they've been had it and they're only showing us the obsolete version, exactly. People always want to have things just to say that they got it. That's why AI will take over. Facts. Man. AI has already, to be honest with you, we seeing AI now, like we just said, but AI was already in place 20 years ago.
With it had a movie with it anyway. That Haley, whatever the little dude, 6 Sense dude movie, man. You know, that artificial intelligence was a movie. You know what I'm saying?
How long has Instagram been in place? Social media. Let's not talk about MySpace because MySpace didn't have the technology that Instagram and Facebook has now. So how long has that been in place?
Well, digital social media, I wouldn't know, but regular social media since a damn newspaper. But digitized, like on the web base, I wouldn't. I don't.
About the biggest social media where they have the most people.
Participate. That can reach as many people too.
Right.
Good. You can while you looking that up.
I'm looking up.
But you know, you said that we're kind of like inviting it into our lives by wanting to be the first to have certain things. And I've noticed that, and that's where the trends and the topics and the challenges and all of these things go into. I think it's like the algorithms and things. It's really like a bowl that outside of that bowl you have a think tank, and they're like, let's just get these people to focus on whatever we want to put in this bowl. And if we want to put something advanced in it, we will. But I was saying that to say that it looks like they're dumbing down our generations, making our generations depend less and less on each other and on like sensible knowledge, and more on a computer, more and more on an app, more and more on user-friendly things, more and more impatient to speed something up anyway, more and more group oriented. What I mean by that, like with the social media, easier to herd you because everybody wants to be on the same thing. Imagine if not a lot of people had cell phones, it would be harder to get everybody to want to.
That's why they're so cheap now.
They give them away for free.
Right. Look, so Facebook started in 2006. So we talked about the 20 years that they introduced this stuff to us. So they started learning from us in 2006 as to what we like, what we want to talk about, what we want to do. So now AI has gotten to a point to where they know what we like to do, what we say, how we think for the most part. So now when you type in something in AI, because they have so much to pull from now, it can type you up a story.
How many years of your history?
Right.
How many years of your stories they can pull up? They go back 10 years and show you this your anniversary with this friend. You did this on this day. Would you like to share it with the community and all of these other things?
And then you have Instagram that started in 2010. So that's 14 years. So, you know, we got these 20 and 14-year companies that have been in place for a very long time that has learned from us from the beginning. That's why AI is coming out now, because they've had enough time to learn from us, and now it's a great time to introduce you. I told you 20 to 30 years before they introduce anything to us.
So you know what? I'm glad you said that, because now I'm going to piggyback off of that with this. First of all, if you really notice, if you imagine looking at our post in the forum, in the app from 2006 to now. First of all, they already changed it to Meta.
Right.
So, and they included AI in it now. And there's a lot of other different things that they included that you could do that you can't do back then.
Right.
But it's a lot more ads going on, damn near commercials on that thing now. It's video streams and different things on it than what was on it before.
Well, you know the next update's going to be, I'm going to say next 2 or 3 updates is going to be where we're scrolling. You know how you see live video? Nowadays they're going to pop up live commercials like you see on TV, like literally 1 to 2 minute commercials.
Well,
they're gonna have movie premieres. They're gonna have movies introduced. I mean, they're gonna have movies that you can watch at the theater, which is not gonna be a thing in the next 5 years. All movies are gonna be at home. You're not gonna have any movie theaters in the next 5 years.
Watch what you say. Your robot gonna be your movie.
Right.
It's gonna be able to project something for you, and you're gonna be able to put Netflix and all that other shit on your robot. You're going to be able to take your phone and put it on the robot. You'll be able to get it from the Tinseltown damn near from Hollywood itself.
Type in the AI, man, I would sure love to see a martial arts movie with guns and such and such
with rabbits and aliens.
And the robots start thinking about it, and then it gives you the movie because AI has already thought up the script, the movie, how it's going to look and everything, and in the next 24 hours, you have the movie that you thought up on the screen.
Well, think about it, like, Remember when they rolled out some phones maybe about 7 or 8 years ago? I can't necessarily remember, but and they started having that Oculus thing with it. They don't do that no more.
They still do it.
But I got one for free. I ain't even really use it, right? But you got to put your phone all in the thing and all this. Right. You know what I'm saying? But,
yeah, it was a failure because of the fact that you have to put the phone in it.
Yeah.
But you have to realize that they have that one that's a virtual reality that you just put on as glasses now. I mean, now they have it where the Oculus part is in glasses. It's like glasses I'm wearing now. It's in that now.
So, man, like I'm saying, I'm just envisioning why everybody looking at what they call this thing right here, a Tesla bot. I'm envisioning Boba Fett. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But not a human up under that thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's what I'm looking at. Where they can go with it.
Yeah,
next thing you know, you got a robot with a jetpack on. You know what I'm saying? Outside your house and shit.
Right. That R2D2 and C3PO stuff is irrelevant now. That stuff that's
old. That's like Atari.
Right.
Bruh,
that's Atari.
But see, we talking like this. We literally talking about like a robot is like Atari, bro. Like old.
Yeah.
So how advanced they finna get with it? Like I say, we gonna be robots.
It's gonna be a robot sitting on the couch looking just like you, doing everything that you do, your mannerisms, everything. We won't be able to tell a difference. That's how far they're going to go.
I'm gonna have a battery pack, basically.
You're not gonna see none of that. See, that's the thing. There's not gonna be any identifiable mark.
I just stand on something and I'm charge.
Right.
You know how you put your phone on something and it charge and it ain't even
plug? On the floor somewhere.
Wow. I might charge off of solar power.
Yeah, I was just saying, or you just charge as you walk.
God, as
you walk, it charges you. I mean, I've said many a times, why can't they make the car charge the batteries as you're driving? Because they want you to plug into something. But if they can make the cars generate energy from the back wheels and charge the batteries as they're driving to where you don't have to plug in anything and you get longer range. They don't want you to do that because they want you to plug into something so they'll know where the car is from this time to that time and how long it's going to be there until they can figure out a way to know where you are and what you're doing once the car can charge itself. I mean, they can do that with GPS. They can do it with GPS, but there's some other reason why they're not just giving us
unlimited like batteries
charging life. Like,
I mean, I think you got to pay for that, don't you?
I don't think they want you to pay for it. I think it's going to be part of the car once you purchase it. But I don't know why they're not giving us the rear wheels are charging the batteries while you're driving, so where you don't have to plug in and you can get distance like you can with gas. I don't know why they're doing that, but there's a reason why they're doing it. We just don't know what it is yet.
Hey man, well, I'm saying there's a phrase out there now that means a little bit more to me now, and that is what that is: rise against the machine. Okay, so it ain't like we got prophets no more nowadays, because you can see what they've been throwing out there if you really put the pieces to the puzzle from what you've seen even in entertainment, from what you've seen in real life back in the day up till now. I mean, you got to look at it like this, man.
Slick said cell phones charged by solar power.
Well, I look at it, the way I look at life sometimes is, what would 8-year-old me think about all this stuff right now? Because you think, if someone was telling me when I was 8 that a lot of this stuff was going to be happening, I'd be like, whatever. And I know that because I used to tell people when I was in high school about the computer chips with the RFIDs, and nobody believed you then. So what's coming down the pipeline?
Hey, I physically had a friend back in her, I'm a little bit older than you. So back in the early 80s, I was maybe 13, 14. And he was already into computers.
Oh, wow.
He was already hooked to the internet. Literally hooked to the internet. We were downloading a picture, and it took 14 days, let me tell it, to download the picture. But the internet was already in existence back then. We're talking about 82, 83. This wasn't something that he plugged his phone in, put the phone down, and he started running computer programs. And I mean, and I was there and I said to myself, man, if I would just sit there and learn with him, because he knows how to do everything to a computer. But like you said, the 13-year-old me was like, so you get what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna do something. I was already, in high school, by that time. So I'm like, I'm gonna do something else. But if I had took the time to learn, it's going back to what you said. The 13-year-old me, the 8-year-old me was like, whatever. Get what I'm saying? Whatever.
So I'm gonna name a couple of things, right? So when we get ready to end this, we're gonna end it on this note. You got the radio, you got the TV, we'll say like automobile, microwave. Now I'm gonna say a cell phone. We don't need to necessarily follow along the lines of robots, right? All right, so the things that I named were revolutionary.
Right.
In either media, communication, changing human life forever.
Right.
All right, so the cell phone, who thought of that, and why would you even introduce that if we were living perfectly fine? You see what I'm saying? Without this, it's almost like popping a cherry to us, or putting us onto a particular drug that you never want to get off of.
I forget the name of the guy, but the black guy who thought up the chip for the cell phone. I don't necessarily knew what he thought that was going to be used for, but at first I think cell phones were introduced for profit reasons.
Clearly,
but once they saw that we were addicted to them and figured out that we could get a lot more control out of them through this thing, they started doing more stuff with them.
So,
because you think about the phones when you first got them, they were just basically phones. You couldn't.
Oh yeah, man! You could flip them things up. Everybody would just. Then they turned it into a computer, basically, a laptop.
A lot of people who conspiracy theories like we're doing right now, well, I don't think it's conspiracy theory, who are very computer savvy, they only use analog phones.
Yeah, because they know they can use their laptops and everything else for what they do, or they separate certain things like that. Right. And your boy Jesse Ventura doesn't even have a cell phone, so he say, and wants to go out like that. And he said it's a certain type of peace and a certain amount of what he doesn't know because of it. So, I mean, now that's another thing. Would you rather know what you know now because you have the internet and that much access to knowledge because it's shown to you and it's accessible? Or would you rather live like how you did without this particular cell phone and computers to know what you know now?
Well, I guess my thing is, and you said, because I don't know if what they're feeding us through the internet is true. I mean, we would think that it would be true, but we got to remember, we're talking about robots and people controlling them things for nefarious reasons. So we can say that what they're telling us is true, but that's why do you think they're trying to get rid of books and stuff? Because the information that we want and need, they don't want us to have. They want us to go on Google and let Google feed us whatever they want us to know, without us having physical media to look that thing up, to go to the encyclopedia, to go to the dictionary before phones. I mean, my grandmother had a encyclopedia collection that was wonderful, but it was before the 80s. So I could have known a lot of that stuff from back then probably was different because people wrote it, but now you got AI and computers writing everything. Well, who's to say that it's not being manipulated to tell us things that are not necessarily true? Especially if they get rid of books, we won't have a way to figure out and know that if it's true or not.
So my thing is, now we got to be careful because we've already accepted and allowed the cell phone in our life.
Right.
And now we know how that is.
Right.
Let somebody leave their cell phone at home and see how they feel.
Right.
All right. So imagine allowing a robot to be in your life. First of all, I think a robot is like a third party. And you know what they say when you invite the third party into your house, in your living room. That's your place. That's your peace. The cell phone is in your house and all that, but you can cut that thing off and you can control that. This is, like I say, it governs itself.
Right.
And with all of that being said, you don't want to necessarily introduce a particular element into your lifestyle. And then next thing you know, you have to depend on it. Like, meaning you done left the house now and your robot at the house and you got to depend on that robot to take care of your child or something. Like, I wouldn't really want a robot looking after my kid, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But you never know what they're going to say the robot could be capable of doing. And so now you got your child at home with a robot that you don't even know what's going on, but you've introduced all this to your lifestyle now. So without it, you got issues or maybe something similar to that.
I'm gonna give you this before we go. I was talking to Slick a couple of days ago, and I always go down rabbit holes. I always try to read things because I want to know what's going on, and I want to know for myself. We talk about going on Google and internet and all that stuff, and how they want to get rid of books because they don't want us to know. That's why physical copies are coming back. People are actually wanting tangible copies that they can
evidence.
Can hold, DVDs, books, stuff of that nature. They don't want it in the cloud anymore. They want it physically in their hands. Put it in the DVD player, read it, have a physical book, put it in their hands and turn the pages. So physical media is making a comeback, and we have to ask ourselves, why?
Well, here's another thing, though. Although it's making a comeback, you have to ask yourself, will people stop producing it? Because now that they use advanced technology, they need different type of resources. So you don't want to damn drain the planet because you're making old technology and new technology to a degree.
Right.
Because you got to think now, all of that stuff has to be produced. All of it causes waste. All of it has to go somewhere.
Where do you go when you drain a planet?
You use robots.
I mean, I'm saying, where do you go?
I know. You don't go nowhere.
No, you go to another planet, which is why these billionaires keep trying to fly to space to go to Mars.
But now they say that, but we still got to understand that they get on the moon yet. We might talk about that in another episode, y'all. But something tells me at some point they'll be able to get a robot to fly you to whatever planet you need to.
Yeah, they're trying to go. They're trying to get out of space for some reason now. Don't get me wrong. Some solar systems are too far away that they can't physically reach because there are limitations. I mean, they have a solar system out there that's exactly like our solar system, which I believe has life on it, but it's 1 million light years away. You can't ever get there, ever.
Well, all I'm going to say is the image and the likeness and a robot came out of somewhere, some way, somehow. Right. And now it looks like they're going to start trying to interact them with humans and at some point maybe fuse us with them. I appreciate everyone for tuning in and listening to what I had to say tonight. I'm Shooter, a.k.a. Dose. That was Lad. We up out this thing. Tune in next Monday. Dose up.
Yeah. Grams liters cc's, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of liters of grams, get your dose up, cut this up, post up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the moving, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in no trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is